The year is 1945. The world breathes a collective sigh of relief as the guns of the Second World War fall silent in Europe. A global nightmare, a conflict that has consumed tens of millions of lives, is finally over. But as Allied investigators sift through the smouldering ruins of the Third Reich, they uncover something deeply unsettling. Beneath the surface of the regime's public-facing war machine, they find a shadow world of clandestine projects, futuristic technology, and bizarre obsessions that defy conventional explanation. These were Germany's unknowns, secrets that were never meant to see the light of day. This is the story of the wonder weapons, the phantom spies, and the dark myths that haunted the final, desperate days of Nazi Germany. It's a journey into a realm where science fiction was becoming science fact, and where the boundaries between warfare, ideology, and the occult began to blur in terrifying ways. As the war turned against Germany on the Eastern Front, Hitler demanded a new kind of warfare, one based on vengeance and technological terror. He called them Vergeltungswaffen, or vengeance weapons. The first of these to be unleashed was the V-1 flying bomb. More a cruise missile than a rocket, the V-1 was a terrifying spectacle. Its pulse-jet engine produced a demonic buzzing sound that earned it the nickname Buzz Bomb or Doodlebug from Londoners. It was launched from fixed ramps in occupied France and Belgium, a crude but effective weapon designed to spread panic. But the real leap into the future of destruction came with its successor, the V-2. Developed by a team of brilliant engineers led by Wernher von Braun at a secretive facility called Piemont on the Baltic coast, the V-2 was the world's first long-range ballistic missile. A 14-ton behemoth standing over 46 feet tall, it was powered by a liquid propellant rocket engine that burned a volatile mix of ethanol and liquid oxygen. The V-2 traveled at supersonic speeds, reaching the edge of space before plunging down onto its target. There was no defense against it. It arrived without warning, faster than the speed of sound. The explosion was the first sign of its arrival. From September 1944 onwards, thousands of these silent killers rained down on London, Antwerp, and other Allied cities, a harbinger of the missile age that would come to define the Cold War. But the V-weapons were just the beginning. The skies over Europe were about to become the stage for another revolutionary German technology. Allied bomber crews, flying their lumbering B-17s and Lancasters, had grown accustomed to dealing with propeller-driven fighters like the Messerschmitt Bf 109 and the Focke-Wulf 190. Then, in the summer of 1944, they encountered something entirely new. A fighter plane that moved with impossible speed and grace, with no visible propellers, leaving only a trail of smoke and stunned disbelief in its wake. This was the Messerschmitt Me 262, the world's first operational jet fighter. Powered by two Junkers Jumo 004 jet engines, the Me 262 was a quantum leap in aviation. It could fly over 100 miles per hour faster than the fastest Allied piston engine fighters. Armed with four powerful 30mm cannons in its nose, it was a devastatingly effective bomber interceptor. When flown by experienced pilots, a handful of Me 262s could tear through entire bomber formations. It was a weapon that could have, if introduced earlier and in greater numbers, changed the course of the air war. Thankfully for the Allies, production was hampered by constant bombing, material shortages, and political infighting. Alongside the Me-262 German engineers were developing other radical aircraft like the Arado R-234, the world's first jet bomber, and the Heinkel He-162A People's Fighter, meant to be mass-produced and flown by pilots with minimal training. These jets were a terrifying glimpse into the future of aerial combat, a future Germany was desperately trying to build in the fires of its own destruction. While its engineers were building the weapons of tomorrow, Germany's spymasters were engaged in a different kind of secret war, a war of deception, infiltration, and assassination. One of the most audacious and bizarre plots was known as Operation Zeppelin. The goal was simple, yet chilling, to assassinate Joseph Stalin. The plan was born from the mind of Walter Schellenberg, a high-ranking SS intelligence officer. It was a high-stakes gamble, a desperate attempt to decapitate the Soviet leadership and throw the Eastern Front into chaos. The operation relied on turning captured Soviet soldiers into German agents. These men, disillusioned with the Soviet regime, were put through rigorous training at a special camp. They were taught sabotage, radio communications, and hand-to-hand combat. The final assassination team was a man and woman pair, chosen for their loyalty and skill. In September 1944, they were loaded onto a transport plane and flown deep into Soviet territory, dropped by parachute near Moscow. The plan was to make their way to the capital, blend in, and await their chance to strike. But the NKVD, the Soviet secret police, was waiting. The German transport plane had been tracked from the moment it crossed the front lines. The agents were captured almost immediately. The grand plan to eliminate Stalin ended not with a bang, but with a quiet, swift failure. Operation Zeppelin serves as a stark reminder of the paranoia and desperation that gripped the German high command, a willingness to resort to almost any means to alter their grim fate. Beyond the world of documented weapons and failed spy plots, we enter a murkier realm, a domain where historical fact begins to blur with myth, and where the Nazi regime's obsession with esoteric knowledge and fringe science gave birth to legends that persist to this day. Of all these mysteries, none is more enigmatic than the story of Die Glock, the bell. The legend originates from the post-war testimony of a Polish journalist and historian named Igor Witkowski, who claimed to have seen classified Polish intelligence documents detailing the project. According to his account, Die Glock was a top-secret SS experiment conducted in a secure facility near the Wenceslas mine in occupied Poland. The device was described as a heavy, metallic bell, about 9 feet wide and 15 feet tall. It was said to contain 2 counterrotating cylinders filled with a mercury-like substance, codenamed Zerum 525. When activated, the bell allegedly consumed massive amounts of electricity and emitted a strange, pale blue glow. The purported effects of Die Glock were horrific. Scientists involved in the experiments were said to have suffered from nerve damage, memory loss, and even death. The area around the activated device was reported to have strange effects on plant and animal life, causing crystallization in organic tissues within a radius of hundreds of meters. What was its purpose? Theories range from a powerful new weapon and an anti-gravity propulsion system to a machine capable of bending space and time. Supporters of the theory point to the remains of a mysterious concrete structure near the Wenceslas mine, nicknamed the Henge, as potential evidence of a test rig for the device. However, mainstream historians remain deeply skeptical. There are no German documents from the period that mention Die Glock. The entire story rests on second-hand accounts and speculation. Was Die Glock a genuine, terrifying secret weapon, or is it a modern myth, a folktale born from the shadowy reputation of the SS and their known pursuit of unconventional science? The truth, like the device itself, remains shrouded in mystery. As German jet fighters entered service, Allied pilots began reporting another strange phenomenon in the skies over Europe. They described seeing small, metallic spheres or brightly colored lights that would suddenly appear and fly in formation with their aircraft. These objects seemed to be under intelligent control, capable of incredible speed and maneuverability, easily outpacing the fastest Allied planes. They would follow bombers for miles, sometimes weaving between formations, before suddenly vanishing. Crucially, they never displayed hostile intent. They didn't fire weapons or attempt to collide with the aircraft. The pilots, having no official explanation, gave them a name: Foo Fighters. The phenomenon was widespread. Reports came in from both the European and Pacific theaters of war. The 415th Night Fighter Squadron was one of the first units to report these encounters systematically. Initially, the Allied High Command suspected a new type of German secret weapon, perhaps a psychological warfare device or a remote control drone designed to disrupt their radar or electronics. But investigations yielded no answers. After the war, interrogations of German military and technical personnel revealed that they, too, had encountered these strange lights and believed them to be a new secret weapon developed by the Allies. Both sides were seeing the same things and blaming each other. To this day, there is no consensus on what the Foo Fighters were. Explanations range from electrostatic phenomena and ball lightning to mass hallucinations brought on by combat stress. Yet the consistency of the reports from experienced combat pilots, often corroborated by multiple crew members, makes it a puzzle that has never been fully solved. The Foo Fighters remain one of World War II's most enduring and perplexing aerial mysteries. Perhaps the strangest and most persistent legend of all is the story of a secret Nazi base in Antarctica, a hidden refuge in the ice known as Base 211 or Neuschwabenland. The story begins with a real historical event. In late 1938, Germany did launch an expedition to Antarctica. Using seaplanes launched from the catapult of the ship MS Schwabenland, they surveyed a vast, unexplored territory, dropping swastika emblazoned flags to claim it for the Reich. They named the area Neuschwabenland, or New Swabia. Officially, the expedition was for scientific exploration and to secure a potential base for the German whaling industry. But according to post-war mythology, this was just a cover story. The real purpose, the legend says, was to establish a secret military base in a network of geothermally heated caves beneath the ice. This myth grew exponentially after the war. It was rumored that elite SS troops, top scientists, And even Hitler himself had escaped Germany in the final days of the war via a fleet of advanced U-boats and established a breakaway civilization in this Antarctic sanctuary. From there, they supposedly continued their research into advanced flying saucer technology, the so-called Hornebu craft, preparing for an eventual return to power. The legend was further fueled by the US Navy's Operation High Jump in 1947, a massive naval expedition to Antarctica led by Admiral Richard Byrd. Conspiracy theorists claim High Jump's true purpose was to find and destroy the secret Nazi base. While historical records show Operation High Jump was a cold weather training and testing mission, the legends of Base 211 persist, a testament to our fascination with the idea that some part of the Third Reich might have survived, hidden away at the bottom of the world. There is no credible evidence to support the existence of a secret Nazi base in Antarctica. Yet, the story endures, a powerful myth about a final, hidden redoubt. From V-2 rockets that touch the edge of space to the ethereal mystery of Die Glock, from jet fighters that heralded a new age of warfare to the phantom Foo fighters that stalked them, the secret history of the Third Reich is a landscape of incredible innovation and dark obsession. These projects reveal a regime that, even as it faced total annihilation, was fanatically dedicated to pursuing technological and ideological supremacy. They were willing to explore any avenue, no matter how radical or bizarre, in their quest for a final, war-winning weapon. While many of these wonder weapons arrived too late to change the outcome of the war, they cast a long shadow over the post-war world. The V-2 rocket became the direct ancestor of the American and Soviet rockets that would take humanity to the moon and threaten it with nuclear annihilation. The Me-262S jet technology was eagerly studied by the victors and shaped the next generation of fighter aircraft. The unsolved mysteries serve as a cautionary tale about the dangers of ideology fused with unchecked scientific ambition. They remind us that even in the most documented conflict in human history, there are still pockets of darkness, unanswered questions, and unknowns that continue to fascinate and disturb us to this day. The ruins of the Third Reich may be cold, but the ghosts of its secret projects still linger. Thanks for watching. Be sure to follow and subscribe for more journeys into the hidden corners of history.